1 week down and 5 to go, and the hits just keep on coming for Anthony Albanese. Another poll published in 9 newspapers showed the opposition leader has paid the price for a week full of missteps. He's dropped 7 points in 2 weeks in the preferred Prime Minister stakes, and the coalition has seen its primary vote rise just 1 point. Our reporters Jonathan Lee and Trudy McIntosh are on the campaign trail and have the very latest details for us. Jonathan, first to you. Anthony Albanese continues his blitz of Queensland today. What seats are is he targeting, and how's he shaking off that Bluesfest debacle?
The Bluesfest incident. Laura, you're correct. Anthony Albanese is in Brisbane today ahead of the election, ahead of the debate which is coming up through the week. There's a slew of coalition seats which the opposition is really targeting. We're set up for the press conference, and today we're talking about flood damage and some of the flood-affected families. I want to give you an idea of where we are. We're in Frew Park at the moment, and this was an area which was really hit back in 2010. There's a number of homes around here in Milton, Auckland, Flower. We're very, very close to Brisbane's CBD. A number of these homes were ended up being reclaimed and the land given back to the community for parks and tennis areas around here. Today's press conference, no doubt, will talk about those flood-damaged communities. There will certainly also be questions about climate change, coal, the bigger issues which affect this at the moment. So Anthony Albanese will be forced to deal with that. But last night we were at the Bluesfest. The opposition leader flew down from Cairns into Byron Bay. We talked about flood damage down there as well. He was very well received initially at the start. Now, there's been some pejorative comments online about fake news, that he wasn't as well received and that he was actually heavily booed from the outset. That wasn't the case. When he originally got there and saw one of the first bands play, there were a number of pats on the back and people were very happy to see the opposition leader. That changed, though, when he went on stage. There were a number of people who booed very heavily. Others cheered and supported. Have a listen if you're at home. You can decide how he was received.
G'day. It's great to be at Bluesfest. I begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet. Pay my respect to elders past and present, and what we want is to recognise First Nations people in our Constitution. Australians have been magnificent over the last couple of years, and what we want is a government that backs the arts sector. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Jimmy Barnes.
Laura, there was around 30,000 people at the festival last night, a good 10,000 people under that tent. They were there for Jimmy Barnes, and you'd know when you go to a music festival there's a 30-minute wait between the last act and the act that you're waiting for. Many people wouldn't have been expecting a politician, a man who wants to be Prime Minister, to walk out on stage. His reception improved when he talked about arts funding. We spoke to a couple of people very, very quickly. We didn't have long in the pit to throw the camera in front of people's faces. This is what they thought about the moment.
What do you think about Albo being here? No comment. Not a big fan.
He's brave.
Do you like him?
So. Doesn't interest me.
I just mentioned this new poll, which will be making a few within Labor a bit nervous. What's the mood like after week one? I know it's not scientific, Jonathan, but you can always tell if a leader is upbeat, he's a bit nervous, he's feeling not so confident. So what is it?
Sober at the moment, Laura.
Sober.
Anthony Albanese knows
good.
He's in a heck of
We
a fight
don't
at
want
the
a
moment.
drunk potential
It's
leader.
I can also use the word sombre as well. Look, it's been a hell of a first week. There's been a number of stumbles and gaps. He's been forced to correct himself on 3 separate occasions over about 5 days. His camp is optimistic that they are campaigning well. They made the point to me yesterday that they don't want to be like Scott Morrison and jump in every tractor and every digger and look like that they're pretending to be the farmer or the tradesman. The difference, though, is you often lose the media cycle that night because you don't have the pictures to tell the story. The way news goes is what pictures are best often lead the start of the story because it's a visual medium. And if you don't provide that, it's very hard to tell Labor's story. They focus very heavily on health. They still think they're a genuine chance. We've been long told that Anthony Albanese is he's going to be a better campaigner than Bill Shorten. We haven't seen that yet. He's been well received by people, but a number of people who have randomly come up to us said that, yes, while they like him, they don't know whether he's the Prime Minister they want. They do know what they're getting with Scott Morrison. They don't necessarily like him as a politician, but they know what they're going to get. And that is how they're going to decide. Laura, tough times ahead for Labor at the moment.
Yeah, it certainly is. And we're expecting a media conference around 10:30. Is that right?
Yeah, there or thereabouts. There's going to be a pick fact first, a picture opportunity first, and then we're all gathered here in Frew Park for that. So a lot of questions still to come, no doubt, about the polling as well.
Thank you. See you soon.